it's hard to pick a starting point for Netflix's The Fall of the House of Usher, a horror miniseries that's loosely fun, not totally accurately based on the work of Edgar Allan Poe. You can just take Edgar Allan Poe out of this show. It's fun if you know about Poe, some of his stories, some of his lore. You can go back and forth. But if you sit down and just watch Fall of the House of Usher, just as a viewer, you're going to get blown away. This is visceral. This is violent. It's depressing. It's philosophical. This is everything horror is intended to do to the human being. It reflects the human condition. This show reflects society. It's hard to know where to start. If you're not going to go any further in day one of the 31 Days of Dread, because that's where we are. If you're not going to go any further, stop and watch this show right now. If you want to hang out, we're going to get through that intro and we're going to talk. It's October, and it's time for the 31 Days of Dread. This is where you get one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. That's how much we love horror. That's how much we love Halloween on the Film Buff Podcast. And here's the crazy thing. This is the longest running horror event in all of podcasting. So get ready. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to scare our socks off. And yes, we're going to be grabbing some candy. Maybe some cereal. Let's go. And welcome to another year of the 31 Days of Dread. This is day one, the Fall of the House of Usher. Netflix, I am long on record, Netflix is the greatest film studio we have today. Everything Netflix touches, it innovates. Documentaries, animation, short form storytelling, and long form storytelling. Fall of the House of Usher relatively could have been a 4-movie series. Think about that. Could have been 4 movies long. Could have been a trilogy, the length of Lord of the Rings. This is horror at its finest. This is talent, kicking ass at its finest. What's the plot? Imagine climbing up in this world. You have a brother and a sister. They need a foot up. They betray, they lie, they seal a man, a co-worker. They seal him in the wall alive, right? These are the visuals we know from Edgar Allan Poe. But it's still loosely based on Poe, guys, okay? It's loosely based. It just picks up some of these ideas from Poe. It's fun. Trust me. It's fun to learn about Poe when you're done watching this series and go back and watching it. But a brother and a sister, they seal this guy up in the wall. And then they steal his pharmaceutical business. And they produce a drug that creates, responsibility-wise, like the 5th or 6th, like you're the devil, because the devil's one of the characters in this movie, but the devil tells this guy, like you're like top 6 serial killers of all time. You're responsible for the top 6 deaths in human history. But then you make a deal. You make a deal to have luxury and life and children, and the children live a good life. But then those children will be taken from you, and then you will be taken from us. And you will have to arrive at this fate. But until then, you're going to bawl. You're going to bawl it out. And along the way, we have, because of the luxury, we have this display of what people do when they don't have things to worry about. Debauchery. People disconnected with humanity. We get one of these sisters. They run like a news network, and she just forces all the her interns and office staff just into sex. And then another one of the siblings have this orgy, and and this is where I don't even know what episode it is. Whatever episode is the orgy party with the acid that comes through the sprinklers and melts everyone. That's where I knew. You guys have to watch this show. Our boy behind this show. We know the name. The name is now synonymous with American horror. Mike Flanagan. This dude, he's a lot like our boy James Bond, right? I say James Bond's the $1 billion franchise boy. That dude knows horror. This dude is, there might be a two-headed dragon. So Flanagan directed, years ago, we did Oculus for the 31 Days of Dread. And Oculus is one of the best horror movies. It's just so wild. It's such a cool idea. But he's made movies. He directed 3 movies in 2016. Hush, Before I Wake, and Ouija, or Origin of Evil. Ouija, I think I heard good things. It just was on the list for 31 Days of Dread. 2017 for Netflix, Gerald's Game. Amazing. 2019, not on the 31 Days of Dread, not reviewed on this channel, but this was a movie that proved me wrong, is Dr. Sleep with Ewan McGregor. I thought I don't want a sequel to The Shining. I refuted. People told me that was a good movie. I finally called it. Very impressed. 2014, Life of Chuck. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's based on a Stephen King book, though. And then for Netflix, though, 2018, The Haunting of Hill House. 2020, The Haunting of Bly Manor. 2021, Midnight Mass. 2022, The Midnight Club. And 2023, The Fall of the House of Usher. The Haunting of Hill House, people say, is the great. AKAPADers, Fall of the House of Usher stomps everything out. I know people love Midnight Mass. They really love the positioning, the vampire aspect of that, and just how long form. I hate to say long form in the description. It's not negative, but Midnight, it's just this wonderful long form slow burn. And the horror in that is it's legit. You're just isolated town, and you have the most ancient of evils lurking. It's 100%. Haunting of Hill House changed the game. Haunting of Bly Manor. I love both of those, but The Fall of the House of Usher is built for me and the taste of this, of the film buff, of this feed, of this podcast, which is it's highly violent. It's sexualized. It's deeply, deeply philosophical. We are dealing with just ideas of how you make yourself in this world, of your impact and its consequences, of maybe living a good life versus not living a good life, or maybe living a little bit of that villain life, but you get the good stuff, but then you're going to suffer. All these ideas are there. I think if I went through this, episode by episode, this would be a couple hours long if I did a full analysis. But I will say, do not miss out. Do yourself a favor and launch the 2024 31 Days of Dread with me, Peter A. DeLuca, your film buff. Launch it with me and start watching this show. Because I would say if you could just watch one thing, it's this. And we have Long Legs coming. We have Arcadia coming. We have Abigail coming. That's what she said. Ooh, that's a weird one. We have the best of 2023 and the best of 2024 coming on this. We have Imagine. I'm just going through some of the I Saw the TV Glow. The Pink Opaque is coming, right? We have it all coming. But this is the one to watch. This is the one to watch for all the right reasons. Just be ready. Be ready to kind of have your head spun around. Can I talk? Get ready to get blown back. Part of my fascination is the intersection of the voice, the artist's voice, the acting, the people given this opportunity, everyone that participated in this. this happens and this moves forward for one big reason. And that big reason is that Netflix is a freaking success. The Netflix relatively prints money. I'm not saying they're a perfect business, but they have money to spend. And then you curate and you find people and you nurture them and you give them opportunities within a creative studio system. And then sometimes you get lucky, and in Flanagan's case, you go on the run. I don't know if he could top this. I really don't. Because I really feel like this is the culmination of this guy's entire career. And holy crap, right? I mean, like, we're all here for it. You have to watch it. You have to watch Fall of the House of Usher. Edgar Allan Poe, baby. I will go to my grave by saying it's loosely based on Poe. Just because I've read a lot of Poe in my day. Guys, Poe, the house that he wrote The Raven in, literally is down the street from where I'm coming to you guys from. Okay? Philadelphia. It's Poe Town. I know the guy. It's loosely based, but holy crap. Guys, check it out. AKAPADers, thank you for joining me for another episode of the 31 Days of Dread. We have been dedicated to horror for a long time on this feed, on this podcast. If you guys want to know more about everything we do here, go to akapad.com. From there, you can navigate to the 31 Days of Dread. We have a dedicated landing page that goes through all the years of the 31 Days of Dread, and we also have a directory that jumps you to any movie that we've done. So you can just look up the movie by name, you can go to the directory, it's all alphabetical, and you can just explore. And that's the intent, and that's why we're so into the 31 Days of Dread, because no one's done this. No one has put this much time, this much thought and effort into American horror and international horror, and we love it. Horror is the future of American cinema. Horror right now is holding up American cinema, and I'm so thankful for it. So I'm hoping that you can extend yourself, explore, and continue the conversation. akapad.com. Thanks, guys.